other topic I brought today to talk about was the drama. So this is the A24 movie that just came out with Zendaya and Robert Pattinson as the leads. And this movie has really been everywhere for a little while. So I think this is a great example of something that did a big lead up. We saw a lot of teasing of this, lots of sort of things that would be in anyone's wedding. So like a save the date and like a little like Polaroid images of them really making it look real for all
Mhm,
extents and purposes, feeling like we were all invited to the wedding. And so this past week and a half, we've been on the press tour, like with this
mhm,
cast. And so I think what's so interesting is that this press tour with A24 has been taking place at the same time as Zendaya herself just got married to Tom Holland, her former co-star, like colleague, her
yeah, right.
former co-star in
I mean, they're still
Spider-Man.
co-stars,
Yeah,
right?
they are colleagues on Spider-Man. And there's obviously so much interest. People have such parasocial relationships with this
Mhm,
couple, and they are extremely private historically. And so it's been so interesting we know that the couple just got married. La Roche, I'm sure, intentionally dropped that little, bug on one of the red carpets for award season. We know they just got married, but we have seen no pictures of that wedding. We know nothing about it. It's probably going to stay that way. And at
mhm,
the same time, we've been seeing Zendaya do all these wedding things. So she showed up to a bridal appointment, showed up to a chapel in Vegas to watch people get married. She's been wearing something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, of course, in collaboration with her stylist, La
mhm.
Roche, doing all of these like different looks that hit the categories. There was a Vogue wedding spread as if like it was a real wedding that happened. And so it's really been this like all immersive press experience. And the two things I find the most interesting are one, just Zendaya being as private as she is, and all of this happening at the same time as her actual wedding. So we're sort of doing the wedding season with her,
Mhm.
but it's actually all fake, which is
Mhm.
so her and
Yeah.
feels really on brand for Zendaya in like a great way. Like she's giving us a little bit,
Mhm,
but it's not actually the things she doesn't want to give away.
mhm.
And then also just the question of, is this what movies have to do now? Like
Yeah.
original movies. This does not come with a built-in audience besides the
Mhm,
fans of the actors. This is original, IP. This isn't an adaptation of a buzzy book or a comic book or a remake.
mhm.
Is this what movies have to do now to get people to the theater?
Yes.
Yes, short answer.
Yes, short answer. So I think the biggest thing here is this is another A24 movie which we just saw go full, balls deep with Marty Supreme and Timothy Chalamet, doing that whole press run. And I think the biggest lesson that A24 kind of took from that is yes, our celebrities are going to do the, normal press tour that they do, go to the different, movie premieres in like the major cities, but also, let's get them doing, stuff that goes beyond that, right? It's like A24 had to go to these like, publications and be like, "Hey, we want to do this thing, this marketing thing. Do you want to do it?" And it's, I'm sure it's an easy yes because it's like, "Oh, Zendaya and Robert Pattinson pretend they're married on like a Vogue shoot. Like, of course we're going to do that."
Oh, yeah.
And like the thing that I like about it is that A24 is like it's a small studio, right? Compared to WB and like
Yeah.
Paramount, all these like major studios, even compared to Netflix, who could potentially be doing more to like market their films, but kind of just rely on people being on the platform and using that as like a marketing,
Mhm.
marketing system. One thing that I want to call out is that I really enjoyed that throughout this, like, press run that, like, Zendaya and Robert Pattinson still come off as, like, um, we are working in this film together and we're
They're like
we're promoting it.
bros.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, brother, sister, and
Mhm.
not like the Margot Robbie, and
Right.
like Jacob Elordi or even Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson who
Oh,
pretended to
yeah.
have a relationship
Was that fake?
yes, it came out like afterwards, them saying like, "Oh, it was a fake relationship,"
Wait,
that
that
we,
makes me really sad.
I know, right? And I'm like,
Oh,
why
I
does
don't
it
like
have to
that.
be like that fake versus like this fake where it
Yeah.
still felt like wholesome and like happy?
Do you almost feel like everything has to be sort of immersive right now? Like,
I
it's
think
like
that's
they
the thing right now.
created this, like, very immersive
Mhm.
experience for what is a drama, like just
Mhm,
a
mhm.
movie. Like it's,
Yeah.
we have like Netflix House, like they're making these immersive experiences. We have, Airbnb having
Right.
like letting us go to the cottage for,
Right, right, right.
heated rivalry. And it's like their
Mhm.
version of an immersive experience was a Boston Globe thing and
Yeah.
a wedding announcement and all of
Mhm.
that. And it's like, yeah, like movies have to not to get us too fast at the lesson, but it's like,
Yeah.
how can any of these entertainment properties make immersive experiences? Because that's like kind of what you need to go viral right now.
Yes, I think that's kind of where we're at. I mean, we're seeing pop-ups, right? Like you mentioned the
Yeah.
Anthropic Claude,
Oh
pop-up
God,
in New
yeah.
York. Like there's so many pop-ups happening in New York. There's ones that happen here in LA. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's just like the buzzy thing right now is like what are these immersive experiences that we can, get people in on. The other things is like it doesn't even have to be fully immersive. I mean, one of the examples that we called out here was for the for Final Destination on the 405, there were like those log, trucks that had like
What?
the billboard on the side saying like, Final Destination
Okay,
movie
I'd
coming
like
up.
to be left out of that experience. Like, did not
um,
consent.
but it's all these like references, right? And Easter eggs
Yeah.
that like real fans know.
Yes.
So it's like, how do you create that? Additional buzz to get like your biggest fans to go out and be online, searching these things.
Definitely.
Because if you also think about it, people commenting on the marketing has become its own type of marketing, right?
Hmm.
We talk about here on the podcast as like examples, that's marketing, right? Like people, going viral on Twitter talking about like these examples are also, marketing. So it's
Yep.
like all these things like yes, we have like the stars to promote the movie, but now we can get like the fans of the stars and then the fans of like the directors and like the fans of like the movie to become marketing mouthpieces for us if we make the
Definitely.
marketing interesting enough. So that's a lesson here for me is like how are
Yeah.
you making your marketing so interesting that like your number one fans want to talk about it and not like here we're
Hmm.
promoting the product but it's like here we're like this is
No,
how the company made me feel, this is what the product did for me, like getting
people
that
loved it. I saw
right,
such
exactly.
positive responses to the
Hmm.
little things that came out around
Yeah.
this. Like people want this stuff.
Exactly. Take heed, marketers. Like, what is it that
Yeah.
you're doing to kind of create that type of marketing? And obviously, fine, you don't have a celebrity to like, be out there promoting it for you, but
Sure.
there are ways that you can make your users feel as if you're listening to them and
Hmm.
acknowledging them in a way that gets them to create that content for you.
Definitely.
So takeaways overall, I think, the major through line here is like, how are you creating the type of content that will get your user to pay
Hmm.
attention to you, right? And I think there's a lot more that marketers can be doing to be immersive, bring, your user to like where you're at, and then also to create content for them that they understand, and then also repurposing that content in a way that reaches them in different avenues, right? Like this was like such an overarching campaign that like I saw things on Twitter and engaged with it there, I saw things on Instagram and engaged with it there, I saw things on TikTok, right? Like, and
Yep.
each one didn't feel as if like, oh, it's the same thing I've already seen. It was like enough different content that like each thing felt like a new engagement and a new way for me to like learn about the movie or like, the politician or, whatever. And then the last thing I'll say is like that, legitimacy versus like fun. Type content, right? It's like, Zohran Mamdani is still doing the press conferences that are like the, legit stayed, stodgy, like boring political stuff that has to happen, but doing like the fun TikTok videos to also explain what he's doing. I think that that's what OpenAI is going to be doing, right? It's like they'll
Hmm.
still do like
Yeah.
their blog post and Sam Altman going on to like, doing interviews, but now they have the TBEPN guys to be like a mouthpiece to talk about those like fun stories
Hmm.
about AI and tech companies and startups in Silicon Valley that like people want to hear about, like that optimism that not everything is AI is going to come and like steal your jobs, but like AI can help you do, fun things, but not write the book for you.
Yeah, definitely not.
Cool. And do you have any takeaways?
Yeah, I think in general, what you said around understanding your audience and your format. And again, it's so hard. I understand like we're all dealing with like less fewer budgets, fewer people, all of that, but it really is a little bit of like diversification and doing it all. And so I
Mhm.
think that's, if you take it from someone like Zoran, it's understanding that he needed the video strategy and to go to people like and to do the debates and to be the serious candidate. Like it's
Mhm.
not like you get either or at
Yeah.
this point. And so I think we see it with something like OpenAI too, where it's like they are diversifying. They're diversifying the groups that are going to be talking to them by getting into the media.
Yeah.
And it's not that all the other stuff they're doing isn't important, but it's understanding that you have to reach people in the mediums that they're at. And so really making sure, as you said, like trying to make your content work super hard for you and understand the different formatting. But again, really just changing that strategy and making sure that it stays true to your brand.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sophie. Where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter. S Vershbow, Vershbow is my handle basically everywhere, Twitter, Instagram. And yeah, see you on the internet.
Awesome. And then you can follow me at Sonia Bashez everywhere and the podcast at Meme Team Pod on YouTube and Meme Team Podcast on Spotify and TikTok. Thank you.
Great.
Bye.